Welcome into this top 5 edition of MMA Live. I'm Prim Suripapat, and joining me today is MMA Live writer for ESPN.com, Chuck Mindenhall, and ESPN MMA insider TR Foley. So today we're talking about the top 5 wrestlers in MMA. So Chuck, let's begin with you, and we'll work our way from the bottom and go all the way to the top. Beginning at number 5, who do you have?
Well, I hate narrowing it down to 5 because we hear about this all the time when we do this. So I'm going to have to exclude some guys, but I'm going at number 5 with John Fitch. You know, he wasn't a great college wrestler. He was at Purdue under Tom Erickson, but he's been able to bring what he learned from Erickson over to AKA and into the ring. He's been a consummate pro ever since. And he's busted that rusty cage, and that's what he's been doing for a long time.
He smothered BJ Penn in that fight, and especially in the third period. That's what really kind of got him that draw.
And you also have some background as well. You're a wrestler at Virginia, right?
A little bit,
a lot of these guys do have some background. All right, don't be modest. All right, number 4, who do you have, Chuck?
Well, I've got Chris Weidman on this. I'm going to let TR explain this one.
Oh yeah, fascinating. He's you know, his matchup against Mark Munoz recently really showed his ability to, and his confidence in his high crotch was a single leg attack with his head on the outside. Usually susceptible to guillotines, but with his characteristics as a wrestler, really succeeded.
What I like about him is he uses his wrestling to set up his other grounds of attack. We've seen he's a fantastic submission grappler. We've seen it a number of times. He was 5-0 in the UFC, and he's looking really good. I'm sure we'll see a lot of submission victories in his career.
Absolutely.
Very, very well. And how about number 3?
I'm going to go with Ben Askren. If there's ever been a more non-apologetic telegraphed wrestler, it's Ben Askren. He invites you to come and take it away. If you call him boring, you say, and do something about it. He backs it up every time. That's why he's still at the top.
Is there any wrestler that's apologetic, though? Really? TR, what are your thoughts about
There's nothing more humiliating than being held down and told you can't get up, and that's what Ben Askren does.
All right, and number 2, we're winding down.
Well, I went with Daniel Cormier on this one, and you've had a chance to talk to Daniel, so we'll let you.
He's a two-time Olympian, and his transitions from his feet to the mat are the best in the game. Good throws, and he threads together everything very well.
And he's really picked it up fast. So let's not forget, he was the 3rd man alternative of an 8-man Grand Prix. He was able to sneak in there when Alistair Overeem went out, took care of business. He beat up really badly a very tough wrestler in Josh Barnett. He's really proved himself. He'll be a handful for anybody he faces in the UFC.
Including John Jones.
And last but not least, our number 1 guy who, ironically, doesn't have any sort of wrestling background, right?
Yeah, that is a little bit ironic. GSP, George St. Pierre, he's just 23-2. The guy's done it against a variety of, you know, the best wrestlers in the game in his division. Josh Koscheck a couple times, Matt Hughes, he's seen him. John Fitch, we've seen him do it for a long time now.
What's really interesting is he's actually changed a little bit of the way that everybody wrestles because he had so much success against Josh Koscheck in that first fight.
Yeah.
Well, those are the top 5. Now, if you want to check out and see the top 10 wrestlers in MMA ranked by ESPN.com's expert panels, all you have to do is log on to ESPN.com and become an insider today. For TR Foley and Chuck Mindenhall, thanks a lot for joining us today. I'm Prim Suripapat. We'll see you guys later.